That's it. We just want to win for our team.
My goodness! And Amy finishes it!
Yeah, we're just as good as the men, or better.
It's a huge point for the Bay Area.
Good chance that's the #1 highlight of the week.
Oh yeah, welcome back. This is week number 9 of Major League Table Tennis, the first ever professional American Table Tennis League, and we've got a lot to look forward to today. Are you guys ready? Let's bring in our officials. Put your hands together. A big warm welcome for Jerry Lee and Mei Wong. And the first team to come in for action, their second place with 129 points. Make some noise for Seattle Spinners! And their opponents, the #1 team in the West Division. Make some noise for the Bay Area Blasters! And now that all the Warriors have entered the battle arena, let's shake some hands and slap some skins and let the games begin.
For the first time in 2024, Major League Table Tennis heads out west, and we are out in the Pacific Northwest, the lovely land of Portland, Oregon. And inside the Expo Center this weekend, the 4 teams from the West will look to make their first statement of the new year. We begin with the Bay Area Blasters and the Seattle Spinners, and we begin with a bang. The Bay Area Blasters were the best of the West in their last time out in Rock Hill, South Carolina. The interdivisional weekend left the Blasters in first place, 14 points ahead of the second place Seattle Spinners. We'll see Texas and Portland later tonight. Certainly neither the Smash nor the Paddlers are out of the playoff chase by any means whatsoever, but it's a huge opening statement for the Blasters and the Spinners. One of these teams looks to get off on the right track. Hi again, everybody. It's great to be with you. Evan Lepler with the Hall of Famer Sean O'Neill. Sean, it's great to see you again. Great to be in the land of Sean O'Neill, your hometown. What's it feel like to see MLTT here in Portland?
Oh, it's so exciting. All the fans, all the players in town, they're out here celebrating, wanting to see the Paddlers get back into the game.
Some of the biggest crowds of the year, I understand, are going to be out here this weekend.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people that want to come and play and see, and got a lot of special spectators coming in on Saturday as well.
Well, let's take a look at the lineup that we got for this opening match, because each of the different matchups are intriguing in their own unique way. We'll start with Jinbao Ma and Nikhil Kumar, but we'll get into the nitty-gritty of that one. What else excites you about the slate as we get things rolling here tonight?
Really, every one of these matches, I'm guessing, could go 2-1. The players are so closely matched, and the one that I'm really looking at is that 5th match between the old Lion of Africa with El Said Lachine against Audie Serene. Should be a great matchup. Youth versus experience, a lot of power and speed.
It's no exaggeration to say that El Sayed could be Audie's dad.
Yeah, he's been in Portland all week training with the Paddlers, so he's ready. But this first match, U.S. Open champ versus U.S. National champ. Jinbao Ma against Nikhil Kumar, also Olympian from Tokyo.
So Jinbao Ma and Nikhil Kumar are set to begin their warm-ups. You zoom out for a second. The big picture circumstance that greets us here is the fact that the West Division really underperformed at the interdivisional weekend. The last time they had a chance to play was that first weekend of December. It feels like ages ago now. But we were in Rock Hill that opening weekend in December, and the East really was the hammer that weekend. The West played the role of the nail. The Bay Area Blasters are the one team that said, hey, we went 3-1. We had a strong weekend, but overall, the West underperformed. You can make all the excuses. They were missing certain people. Some of those things are true. But I think this is a real tone setter for the rest of the season as we get things started today.
Yeah, no, we've got some teams on the bubble right now, especially with the Portland Paddlers. They need to try to get out of the cellar, and they really have their hands full in Rock Hill. So this is going to be a great match here. Lefty-righty. You're going to see a lot of balls played down the line like they're doing in warm-up right now. And then both players will try to get their forehands to land with a lot of power.
Jinbao Ma made his MLTT debut in November, and he will try to carry the torch for the Blasters this weekend. They are playing without their #1 player, their top draft pick, Taowen Zhang, who is unavailable this weekend, recovering from an injury.
Yeah, and the former U.S. Open champion with Taowen Zhang. Now, 2023, Jinbao Ma has taken over that title, so this will be a very tough test for Nikhil. It's going to have to get past a very tricky reverse side spin serve. You'll see Jinbao starting, uses his forehand side, but he'll play on a reversed pendulum motion. But Nikhil will be vocal. That's one thing you can count on every time he plays. And when his teammates are playing, he's just as vocal.
Strong start for Kumar, quick 2-0 lead, winning both points on Ma's serve.
Coming out with a statement. Nikhil, as a lefty player, he loves to do a lot of misdirection. He'll play short, he'll cut the ball like you just saw right there. Slow spin, really loves to mix it up. He has to stay close to the table. When he backs up, he's less effective.
Nikhil has been an Iron Man for the Spinners. He's been one of their key contributors in every MLTT weekend thus far. But if you look at his performance from a results standpoint, from the first 2 weekends, September and October, in singles he went 12-3. November, December, however, he was just 7-14. So he has not played as well the last couple months, Sean, as he did in September and October.
When he just won the U.S. national team trials 2 weeks ago, so he will be representing the U.S. in the World Championships coming up next month. But as a full-time college student, I can tell you that the December time period, never easy at the end of the semester with finals and other tests. Again, no excuses. He's a pro player, but trying to balance and manage his time, not that easy.
Kumar just turned 21 years old, January 1st. Happy belated birthday to Nikhil.
And that's exactly what Jinbao Ma wants to do. Back Nikhil up, move it around, and play a lot of balls wide out to the forehand when he does a weak ball. Nikhil wanted to have that one back. Great opportunity to expand out.
Majority of the points have been won by the returner so far.
Beautiful short return there by Nikhil.
What does it say to you that the returners are having more success than the servers?
That they've played before, because the servants isn't that big of a factor, but they're both moving so well. That drop shot off the serve is really paying big dividends right now. Look at that, beautiful, just a handcuffing of Jinbao Ma by Nikhil Kumar. Quick drop, ball pops up, great locational play by Nikhil.
He's such a great leadoff hitter for the Seattle Spinners
Well,
team.
it's the number ones, number twos are always going to be playing first, and the coaches can choose who they want. But Nikhil knows how to use momentum better than anyone on his team, and maybe even in the league. You often will see him doing the self pump-ups, self-exaltations. That was a great third ball attack there by Nikhil. Creating some separation right now. Holding his serve.
First time in the match, player won both points on his serve.
Great shots by Nikhil, but he needs to be closer. If he's that far back, he's going to have to be taking 3-pointers and 4-pointers from the backcourt. Jinbao Ma playing very smart, just keeping the ball in play with his forehand whenever possible. Net serve.
5, 8. Go.
Great backhand to backhand play down the line. Evan, when you have that righty-lefty combo, because the forehands are so big, very often early in the point, the players would just do that straight shot backhand to set up the forehand.
This is our first time seeing Jinbao Ma in MLTT since he became a U.S. Open champion. Sean, what was your reaction when you saw Jinbao achieve that glory?
Well, he was down 3-0 in one of the earlier rounds and managed to come back to win 4-3 over a very strong Eugene Wong from Canada. So I knew once he dodged that bullet. Look at these points here. Both players really pulling out all the stops. But when you have that tough test early on where you really should be eliminated and you win that tough one, it gives you so much confidence. And Jinbao Ma is very confident oriented. When he's on the upper hand, so much more pressure. When he loses a little bit of confidence, ball doesn't come over with as much sting. Nikhil really knows the importance of getting that first game under his belt. What a side spin chop block. Nikhil threads a needle, plays a backhand over on the forehand side, and somehow slices and dices that ball. Too much side spin for Jinbao Ma. Once again, going over to the forehand side to use a backhand. That leaves the wide backhand open. Nikhil knew he needed to play a little bit more power on that last ball. He had it on his racket, but he didn't go through it. We got some. Would those be minor leaguers or still major leaguers?
Future major leaguers, perhaps. Nikhil Kumar takes game one, 11-8. Some really high-powered back-and-forth action. Great way to start this MLTT weekend here in Portland. Kumar gives Seattle the early advantage. An 11-8 win over Jinbao Ma in game one. Nikhil Kumar jumped out to the early lead in that first singles game over Jinbao Ma, and he able to close it out 11-8. So we head into game two, and Nikhil will serve to get game two started. Sean O'Neill, what stood out most to you about how Nikhil took care of business in game one?
just that he was so good at mixing up the spin. We saw a number of side spin chop blocks. We saw a number of misdirections. Look at that forehand down the line, inside out, just playing the short game exceptionally well. There's a net ball for Jinbao Ma. But Nikhil is a fast starter. Comes out of the blocks with a lot of energy. You can hear him before each and every point. Oh, look at that 1-2 combination. His ball touched the net, so that's why Nikhil's raising his finger to signify that he realized that that forehand flip changed the timing, but boy, did he finish the ball. Not an easy serve return. Jinbao Ma moves it around, changes the spin from side spin, top spin, side spin, underspin. Very difficult to control it short.
Hey, can you give our viewers a quick crash course in the difference between being a U.S. Open champion and a U.S. national champion?
Absolutely. So the U.S. Open, which took place in Ontario, California, the third week of December, international competition, players from all over the world. Japan is there, China is there. All of the U.S. best players, Canada, whereas the U.S. national champions is only U.S. citizens can play in that. So our Olympic team is generally playing. Amy Wong was the women's champion. Nikhil was the men's, and that was played this past summer. So
Nikhil's won the last two USA
exactly,
national
he defended his title.
3-4.
Which you did a few times back in the day, Sean.
Way back in the day, so it's just such a treat to be here in my hometown of Portland, cheering for these great players. All the local players getting a chance to see how the pros do it.
This is interesting. I mean, Nikhil's very apologetic for this, but that was laid up for the forehand smash.
The challenge, Evan, is like you don't know how much spin is left on the ball after it clips the net. I mean, Nikhil is adding so much power. I think he realizes, obviously they played in Pleasanton and it was a 2-1 match to Jinbao Ma, but Nikhil just coming out so strong. And maybe look at that backhand. Maybe it's just winning the U.S. national team trials last week in Corpus Christi, but look at that backhand. Just pulled it out of nowhere. Just putting constant pressure on the U.S. Open champion. Again, going for it. He lined it up.
4-7.
This is one of those big points. If Nikhil can keep a 4-point lead and be a lot more aggressive on his serve. Well, that ball looked like it caught the edge.
7-5.
We had one official saying it did, and the other official giving the score of the
Oh,
other
it
team.
hit. I think it hit Jinbao's hand, and his hand was close to the edge. So that's why it had that little deflection. Two big serves here for Nikhil to try to go up 2-0. And there's that side spin chop block that just pops up. Jinbao quickly puts it away. You can hear Nikhil saying, "Focus, focus." Oh, Nikhil with the aggressive deep topspin serve, and then just jumps on the return. Again, Nikhil's forehand is landing.
Yeah, you can tell he's locked in.
Another super drop shot by Nikhil off the serve. That ball had heavy underspin on the return. Didn't quite keep that one down.
9-7.
What's Jinbao thinking right here? These couple points on the return.
He needs to be offensive. Can't play safe. Nikhil's playing too strong from both the forehand and backhand sides.
That game points for Kumar to take a 2-0 lead. And there it is.
11-7.
Nikhil Kumar starting with a flourish for the Spinners. Last time these two players met, Jinbao Ma took 2 out of 3. They'll play one more game to 11, but Nikhil Kumar has already guaranteed him and his team a quick 2 points to start the weekend.
Also, our commentators, Evan Leffler on the right, Sean O'Neill on the left. Oh, that's so cool. You just heard us agree that is in the middle of their broadcast. If you catch what they're saying on the live stream, we're streaming now on YouTube, on Major League Table Tennis's channel, on Hulu, on Fanatics. And it's fun because after every match, they do interviews with the players, and they do interviews with the coaches as well. You see good points, VIP section or not, make some noise. And if you're in the crowd, you have one advantage to be
With the Hall of Famer Sean O'Neill, Evan Leffler along with you from Portland, Oregon. Nikhil Kumar, by the combined score of 22-15, has taken the first 2 games from the Bay Area Blasters. And Sean, judging from our conversation a couple minutes before we went on the air, I got to imagine you are surprised by this result.
I really am. But
Why?
I think mostly because Jinbao Ma played so well in December. Nikhil played in that tournament. I want to say he got to the later rounds, possibly the quarter semis. But Nikhil has just been a force this evening and just really dictating the action. Great service choice, very aggressive on the serve return, both dropping it short and coming in with a backhand like he went for that one.
1-3.
Evan, I've said this before, the one thing I like most about Nikhil's game is his attitude. No matter who he's playing, he believes he has a chance to win. And look at that backhand.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
He's just completely going for it. No hesitation.
This West Division feels so up for grabs right now. I know the
thought-
Blasters have an advantage coming in.
Did you see that backhand?
5.
That was nuts. A great drop shot. Not a weak return by Jinbao, and Nikhil just torched it.
Yeah, 2 very different stories in terms of body language right now from these 2 players.
And during that intro, I was thinking we were going to see a lot of 2-1 matches, but you came up with one of your stats, which looks like it's coming to fruition here. What was the number of times we had a 3-0 sweep?
Well, there have been 58 team matches in MLTT history. And in almost 90% of them, there has been at least one 3-0 sweep. 52 of the 58, which is 89.655%. But I agreed with you looking at the sheet. I didn't think this was going to be the 3-0 sweep. This looked like 2-1 the whole way.
And it sets such a tone, knowing that after the 5 matches, going into the golden game, you just want to have that lead, especially if it can get in the 4 or 5 point. Oh, and you can see, even on the backcourt, Nikhil going for the winner. Most players would just lob it back, try to get back into the point. Here comes his chance, goes for a backhand power play, and now we're even up, 5 apiece.
The other relevant statistic from the season here, Sean, is that in game 3, after a player has won the first 2 games, West Division players have been very successful in terms of completing the sweep. West Division players are 30 and 14 against other West Division players in Game 3 after they've won Game 2, completing that sweep. Whereas that's a winning percentage of almost 70%. East Division players are 500.
And the reason I would think that as a coach is because the East Coast is so evenly matched. They're so much tighter. The full-time professionals that are playing also in Europe. Whereas on the West Coast, there's a little bit more separation in level. So those stronger players just really put the crunch on the lower ones. And now Nikhil with the serve. Oh, Nikhil.
Yeah, that caught the edge.
Pointing out
good sportsmanship from Kumar. 7-all.
And that's how you get table tennis karma, by pointing out an edge that the umpires don't see.
Nikhil held the door open for you on the way in, didn't he?
Look at that backhand. Cross-court backhand winner by Nikhil. Great dip on that ball after it touched the tabletop. And again, Jinbao Ma going very aggressive on the serve. He does not want to be swept.
8 apiece. Game 3. Oh, another edge ball for Jinbao Ma.
I
He
thought
takes the lead here in Game 3.
I thought Nikhil's loop off the serve was amazing. How Jinbao Ma was able to step around and play inside out. That was just great work by Nikhil Kumar. Got that first loop landed and then just hung on to keep the pressure on with another one. He would love to end this on his serve. Saw at the end of the last game, he went for the quick topspin serve. And you can see the celebration on Nikhil's face. Just great execution, just kept his feet moving to keep another forehand in play.
21-year-old Nikhil Kumar, the reigning U.S. national champion, trying to complete the sweep, but we will have our first golden point of the day. 10-all. Next point wins here in Game 3.
All the work by both players down to 1 point.
Missed it. Kumar sweeps. 11-8, 11-7, and 11-10, all to Nikhil Kumar. And the Seattle Spinners get exactly what they were looking for to launch this MLTT weekend here in Portland. Sonora Silva, Olajide Omatayo coming up next.
We were pretty close. That's fair play. Nikhil Kumar's like, I can't win this way. I must do the right thing. I must say what I saw. And he gave the point to Ma Jinbao, or Jinbao Ma, as we call him in Major League Table Tennis in the U.S. And on golden points, it was Nikhil Kumar taking it out. Seattle Spinners lead.
Welcome back to the Expo Center here in Portland. We've got Nikhil Kumar on the headset. Nikhil, congratulations on an impressive 3-0 sweep. Really setting a tone for the weekend with your intensity. What's your mentality as you start not only the whole match, but really the whole weekend here in Portland, Oregon?
No, yeah, I mean, it was very important. I think it's been a long break since we had the matches at the crossover weekend. I think as a team we also wanted to bounce back after our unfortunate losses in South Carolina, but yeah, it was just important for me to get a good head start for my team. To be honest, I didn't expect it to be 3-0, but after I found some confidence and some strategies that worked in the first set, I felt I had a chance to go all the way.
Nikhil, what were you most pleased with your game in this match? It was great, 3-0, but there had to be some elements that you were very proud of.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Jimba and I know each other for many, many years now. We've trained with each other many times. We both know each other's game quite well. I think I'm just happy with the way I played and the way I took initiative to attack. Many times I kind of wait for the opponent to go first and then I try to take it over after. But this time I said, no, I'm going to take the initiative first, and it worked out better.
Nikhil, before we let you go, December 31st was not the ordinary New Year's Eve for you. It was New Year's Eve, and it was the eve of your 21st birthday. How'd you celebrate the New Year?
I was training. Unfortunately, we did have a camp in at 888 as well, but I think specifically on my birthday itself, I did enjoy some time with my family, had a good dinner, and also hung out with some friends. But yeah, I think the focus was on table tennis during the winter break.
Well, it showed. It paid off today. Good job. We'll see you in a bit for the Golden Game. Thanks, Nikhil.
Thank you.
Sonora Silva has been one of the revelations for not only the Bay Area Blasters, across the entire league. Enters with a number 5 ranking in MLTT's algorithm. Set to square off with Seattle's Olajide Omatayo. Omatayo serves and scores the first point. What are you most looking forward to with these two tangling for the first time here in MLTT?
Yeah, I think with Omatayo, he's got a lot of power on his forehand, and he's very smart in where he places the ball. Sonora Silva plays all over the court. He's strong on the backcourt. He's strong close to the net. He'll leave the table. So it should be a nice matchup, really, of kind of power and control. Give the slight edge to Omatayo just because his forehand's so big.
The first few points, there's a stark difference in the first miss from Omatayo, but Olajide looks very calm, still, in control out there, whereas Sonora's bouncing around, swinging at every ball with all his might.
Yeah, playing a little bit more reactive, whereas Omatayo is really trying to set up that forehand. His forehand is just a blaze.
(4-2) for Omatayo. Olajide will also play doubles with Fabi Diaz.
And that's where his forehand is very lethal. Look at that forehand right there. Sonora Silva played a very strong over-the-table loop. And Omatayo just took it right back at him into the middle.
Ooh, Silva with a forehand down the line.
And Silva does everything well. Nothing extraordinary that I think people are afraid of it. Omatayo, much bigger forehand.
If you're not familiar with Sonora's story, he applied to be in the inaugural MLTT draft. He was not selected. He was signed as a free agent for the very first Daytona Beach, Florida weekend. Became a member of the Princeton Revolution for just that weekend. He performed so well in front of everyone's watchful eyes that the Bay Area Blasters signed him up. He played in Houston, made his Blasters debut, and he has been an important player for the Bay Area squad ever since. Went 6-3 in singles in Pleasanton, went 5-4 in Rock Hill. Got a winning record overall for his season.
And also, he's playing out of Texas Wesleyan University, home of the Rams. So he's also going to be fighting for National Collegiate Table Tennis Association honors. Texas Wesleyan has been a perennial powerhouse, winning a majority of the team events. It's a co-ed team event, but also they've had great singles and doubles players. But Silva,
fortuitous edge catch there to get back within 3 here against Omatayo.
You can just see Silva from the backcourt, just moving around, keeping the ball in play.
8-5. Six, 8.
Silva just 18 years old, will be 19 in May. Omatayo Originally from Nigeria, now living in France, 28 years old.
9.
He's the elder of the two players in this matchup. Far from an old man.
That was an interesting serve there.
10-6.
Not what he wanted.
Got to make it bounce on your side of the table before it hits the net.
Oh, great stuff from Silva to stay in this game.
7.
Super off the bounce timing by Silva on this last forehand. Steps over.
11-7.
But on the ensuing
Game
point,
two,
miss hit from
spinners.
Silva, good serve from Omatayo, and an 11-7 win. So it's the Seattle Spinners, Sean, that have come out on fire at the outset here. It's 4-0 on the team tally as Omatayo picks up the baton after Nikhil Kumar's sweep. Getting set for game two here. Omatayo taking game one over Sonora Silva 11-7. That is adorable.
Game 2. Cluster serve 0-0.
The futures of Major League Table Tennis are out in full force here tonight. The best rally we've seen so far today.
1-0.
Silva doing a very nice job of getting his forehand into play. Both players showing a lot of consistency, putting pressure on the opponent.
Oh, Olajide Omatayo, the crafty block down the line.
So precise, setting it up, waiting for the opportunity, just threaded the needle.
Sizzling stuff from Silva.
And you could hear the spin coming off of his racket on that last ball.
1-2.
And that's why Sonora Silva was picked up by the Bay Area Blasters. It's those type of shots. Great start here in game two. But the forehand-to-forehand exchange is going to favor Seattle. Omatayo just has too much spin, too much power. That time, Omatayo took a little bit of spin off the ball, still got his forehand in, but caused Silva to play that ball into the net. Not as much as he thought was on it. Silva apologizing for some of his shots touching the net.
Got a lot of balls grazing the edge of the table. Just the first 5 games so far tonight.
But Silva played a very smart move to get his forehand into play.
Felt like a warm-up. Backhand to backhand warm-up rally there.
Exactly, but they're taking the ball off the bounce so quickly, not enough time to step around. Silva adding more spin as the rally went longer. That's a big mistake there.
Timeout, Seattle, as Luba Sadovska, the head coach of the Spinners, wants to have a chat with Omatayo.
You can still change it. You're just putting it at the same spot. Every single backhand goes well. You just maybe a little bit, yeah. A little bit to the middle, yeah. You're too soft. Give him more spin. Give him more spin.
He's doing the same with receive. You can serve sometimes short to forward. Or you can maybe try backhand service also.
Yeah. A little bit more on the elbow, a little bit more in the corner.
He's only going to keep your backhand side. Yeah. Even you go back, then he will just keep on backhand. You can trust your backhand. Where you step on, you go full into the body. Not always right to you. He's waiting for you.
And he's just waiting for you. He's not doing anything that you should be afraid of. He's waiting for you.
Yeah, let's go. Now we take this side.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's great to have Luba Sadovska mic'd up. We also have Maggie Tien, the coach of the Bay Area Blasters, wearing the mic. The interesting thing there is, if I'm Elijah Omatayo, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed because I'm getting multiple voices in my ear at the same time.
That's an excellent point, Evan. Generally, a player can think of 2, maybe 3 things, but much of what they were saying was complimentary of where to place the ball and where not to. But I'm with you. I think maybe have the players talk to the coach, and then when the player comes off, just have one coach talking the whole time. Might be a little easier. That time Omatayo putting their instructions into play, moving the ball around, staying away from just going to backhand. And that was a perfectly placed ball right down the middle.
6-8.
Very difficult for players to transition from the forehand side to the backhand side. That's where they're weakest. Have to have good footwork in order to make that adjustment.
Back-to-back points for Olajide on Silva's serve, but Silva responds and the lead widens back to 3.
It almost looked like Silva had a magnet on his backhand there as that ball went directly into his paddle.
Blasters on the brink of getting their first point here in Portland. What a revelation Sonora Silva has been throughout the season. He will forever be an answer to a trivia question, the first player to wear the jersey of 2 different Major League Table Tennis franchises. Sonora Silva, once part of the revolution, now scoring points for the Blasters. We got a rubber game coming up here in second singles.
Outside of Nigeria that do this serve. It's a backhand, and it looks very simple. Sometimes it's got heavier underspin, sometimes it's dead, and it's very difficult to read. At this level, players aren't serving to hit an unreturnable serve. They're serving to set up maybe a little higher third ball, get something a little longer, looser, that they can bring. They're basically playing their odds to win the point. It's not easy to win a point outright on your serve. Quite frankly, G-Bell has one of the best serves in the field, and the kids are wonderful drivers. On a rare occasion, you see him fool, but that's how
Omatayo takes game 1 11-7. Silva responds with an 11-6 victory in game 2. What do you view as the keys going into game 3, Sean?
I think for Omatayo, it's going to be placement, get out of the backhand-to-backhand exchanges. For Sonora Silva, he's got to get that forehand to work so that he can nullify Omatayo's strong forehand. If he's just playing backhands, he's not going to get the job done.
Another awesome rally. Just to clarify something you said, I heard you say for Omatayo, don't get into the backhand-to-backhand rallies, but you also said you want Silva to look for his forehand, so it sounds like you want both players to look for the forehand like that last point.
Exactly, because that forehand from Omataya straight into the backhand is not going to help Silva. Silva plays his best, and he surprises Omataya when he can get that forehand to come out of nowhere. Silva is not known for his pure power, but his ability to scramble, keep the ball in play. So when he can put some power behind the ball, really changes the dynamic.
3-2.
Omataya's footwork is just top-notch. Once he plays that first forehand, look to him to stay on the forehand regardless of where the ball's returned.
2-4.
Serve handcuffs Silva a little bit there.
Mixing it up a lot deeper. But it's these points that are going to carry this game that could really dictate how that golden game starts. That was a swing and a miss there. And that was right down the middle.
Pulled a muscle watching that swing and a miss.
Timeout.
Timeout taken by the Bay Area Blasters.
Check. A lot of interesting conversation going on here.
I told you, right? If you're not ready, you don't need to serve long, right? You serve long, you didn't ready, but just patience and be ready.
This is the first university I had ever heard of
Stay
in the
back,
United States that
don't
offers
change.
full collegiate
More ball,
scholarship
there
for
ball,
table tennis.
stay spin for
Some other schools are
parallel
Colorado,
backhand,
Lindenwood, I think Mississippi had an incredible program for a while, bringing some top
when you
athletes
play
in.
free table,
Interestingly enough, we've had national champions that didn't even have scholarship programs. UCLA currently has Amy Wong, has Rachel's son, Joanna's son.
Maybe now he couple balls, he step around. You need to be ready for that. That's okay. You only also step around, look your backhand. Just be ready. Okay, patience.
Under 21 years old in the United States. We've already qualified our teams.
Think about this serve and be ready. Let's go. Come on.
Silva returns to the table, trailing by 3 here in game 3.
But also his standings in the lead. Back from timeout, this is the decider.
2-5.
Great service return, very heavy chop, setting up Omataya's big forehand. It's exactly what he wanted to do coming out of that break.
Omataya has seized control here in game 3. 7 of the first 9 points to create a 5-point lead.
Like 7-2.
Nice forehand by Silva.
3-7.
He's going to have to force the action. He cannot hang back and just wait for Omataya to miss. Strong backhand play by the spinners. Just set it up, couple of control backhands, and the heavy power. Oh, Silva showing he can do the same.
Omatayo, as I mentioned, will stay on the table for the doubles match. Mixed doubles match, Omatayo and Diaz against Ma and Zhang. Silva trying to start a comeback here.
He's very fortunate on this last point. Omataya had that ball where he went and just missed it off the side of the table by about an inch.
Oh, Silva catches an edge, and that's the difference between being down 4 or getting back within 2.
And Omataya made contact.
Yeah, more than contact. Almost caught the back edge on the other side. All of a sudden, Sean, it's a one-point game.
And that's what Silva has done so well. Constant pressure, not relying on one specific shot, just keeping the ball in play. Wow, a net ball. Previous ones were hitting the edge.
So it's a 6-1 run from Silva. We are tied 8 apiece.
You see the frustration on Omatayo's face.
Game to 3 right now. Oh, Silva takes the lead. Great reflexes.
And takes it off the bounce. Omatayo had that opening forehand land. Here comes the forehand, and Silva hits a winner while backing away from the table. Both players not wanting to give an inch.
Great counter punching. Omatayo could tell he was feeling the intensity, the pressure of that point, staying in it.
Both just really working the point, not going for too big of a shot, but keeping the pressure on with nice deep returns.
9-all. Tremendous! Sets up game point for Omatayo.
What a final shot down the middle with the backhand by Omatayo, finding the only opening to get through Silva's defense.
One of the best rallies of the entire season.
Absolutely.
And Omatayo able to take 2 out of 3. Closing with a tremendous finish. 11-9 in game 3. He hangs on. The last 3 points in that game, all to the spinners after Silva had gone on a 7-1 run previously. What a battle that was. Spinners in front 5-1 overall. We'll talk to Olajide in a bit, but actually he's got doubles coming up.
About the players, the equipment, the league. It can be super basic questions. If you're new, raise your hand if you're new to table tennis.
Well, some riveting table tennis so far. We're joined by Seattle Spinners head coach Luba Sadovska with Olajide getting ready to play doubles with Fabi Diaz. Tremendous start for the Spinners. 5 out of the first 6 points. Certainly Nikhil set the tone, and Olajide played well. What's been the story from your perspective so far, Luba?
Well, I just keep seeing you guys shaking your head, so I mean it's going good way. I think the Nikhil did really good beginning for us. So 3-0, he played amazing, and now Gide just continued. Senora is a great player, but Gide probably with more experience, and he is able to come back. So we're happy. I'm very happy so far.
And looking into this mixed doubles match, you have a very experienced team representing Spinners coming out. What are your expectations for this very strong blaster team with Lily Jung and Jinbao Ma?
I have a huge respect for them. So right now I'm going actually into this doubles game with no expectations. So we're just going to try our best. That's what I told them. And again, I have a huge respect for those 2 players, which they are both US Open champions. And so, yeah, we'll just do our best.
I know that ever since you guys competed in early December in South Carolina, most of the players on your team went their separate ways. Did you do anything with your team virtually over the last month and a half to keep the team camaraderie alive?
Yeah, we keep in touch. So the only way I have it's technology, right? So because they're either on the other continent and I also watch them wherever they're playing in national competitions, international. I just keep watching them, and every time they do a great job, I just get in touch with them, and that's how we do. And I also I'm in touch with how they practice. So I know Nikhil was practicing hard the whole December.
Clearly the holiday training regimens that you outlined for them worked out pretty well. Luba, we'll let you go. We'll talk to you in a bit. Thank you.
Thanks.
Luba Sadovska, originally from Slovakia, but now lives north of here, Vancouver, Canada. And she has Omatayo and Diaz playing doubles. And look, this doubles duo, I think, is the right duo for the spinners. After some experimentation, we saw Nikhil playing doubles. We saw some different combinations, but Ma and Zhang are two talented players in their own right. So eager to see what happens here. Diaz comes out swinging and airmails that one long to give the first point to the Blasters.
This matchup, as you know, second game it'll be a different order, but this matchup on paper favors the spinners just because we've got Omatayo's forehand going into Lily Zhang, whether it's her backhand or forehand. That's going to be a tough one to return. And she'll be playing it back to Fabi Diaz.
Snaps a three-point run there by the spinners. Seattle still up by one here in game one of this mixed doubles match. A reminder about the overall MLTT format. You got the 4 singles matches and the 1 doubles match. Each of those 5 matches consisting of 3 games, all to 11. No win by 2 at this point in MLTT. And it will all culminate in the golden game. And look, Seattle can play great in singles, great in doubles, but it's really going to come down to the golden game for this team. It was their bugaboo in Rock Hill. They were 0 for 4 at the interdivisional weekend, and you know they were in position to have a half-decent weekend, except the golden game really was their downfall. Sean, how are you feeling about your fantasy team's prospects this weekend?
I'm feeling very good, and I know that our other color commentator, Matt Hetherington, is following closely as we bat it back and forth among the commentary team.
Do you think either you or him is more likely to finish in the top 50?
Well, I think we both are right now, because we've been playing every week. That's the key. You got to play every week. Fail to send in your team, you might not get the end of the league award, which Matt and I are definitely in the running for.
Well, but the thing is, they give individual awards for every weekend.
No, that's
so you
individual.
Want to try to maximize your results each weekend.
Okay, we got to watch that last point again. The block that Lily Zhang just pulled off was amazing. She ran past the ball, but somehow got her racket back in the position to make contact.
Zhang, 6-time U.S. national champion?
At least 5.
Women's singles?
Possibly 6.
12, 14, 16, 17, 19, and 22.
Sounds about right.
2 times a U.S. Open champion as well. Olympian. 3 different times.
3 times, exactly. Ouch. Oh, that's painful.
6, 8.
Lily Zhang, I mean, she was 12 years old and the youngest woman ever to make the national team.
She has had such a storied career and looking very strong as the team prepares and gets ready for Paris.
6, 9.
Which is right around the corner this summer.
It'll be upon us before you know.
9, 7.
I know you said that the Spinners had the advantage with the order here, but an opportunity for the Blasters to close out game one.
Yeah, almost have like a mini break and then have a better order in game two.
Floating back and forth in and out of the point.
Somebody yelled contact. Lily made contact, but I mean, the Spinners owned the position as Lily.
Is this a glimpse of two players that are talented but haven't played doubles together that much?
Well, I can tell you right now, the Spinners, they are such shot makers. Fabi on the backhand, she plays with a pips out surface, so she can really hit the ball flat. And Omataya with the forehand. And when they team up, they're just bringing strength and strength. Clearly in singles, the Blasters have the better individual players with their results.
Miss hit from Omatayo. He had a backhand cross-court winner on his paddle.
You gotta step in before you start your swing. Just caught it way too early.
Game point for the Blasters.
Oh, and that time.
Ma returns the favor.
And we've seen Diaz's serve, even in golden games, make the difference. And now we are with golden point.
Second of the team match so far.
So the question is, will Diaz get the green light to put the ball away after the serve return?
Jinbao Ma with the big forehand, and Omatayo returns it into the net. So it's the Blasters that get their second point of the day with an 11-10 win in game one of the mixed doubles.
She won the ITTF Breakthrough Star Award. That's a global award. She's been the subject of documentaries. She's been on, you can see her all over YouTube and social media. She's a role model. She's an incredible player. And women can play against men in singles, doubles, and golden game. It's just a choice. One woman must play each team match because I rest women and men in the first season by quite a lot. Next season, I expect more women to be out.
So the Blasters take game one, 11-10 over the Spinners in mixed doubles, as close as you can get, Sean, but now you feel like the Blasters will have the edge when it comes to the order here in game two.
They really should, and I'm going to credit that game one golden point win to experience. Both Lily and Ma, they know when not to go for shots. I really felt that Omataya had a chance for the forehand counter. I think it surprised him that it wasn't a finishing shot, but it was on his paddle, kind of rushed it. But again, the shot making of the Spinners, anything is possible, and that's why they've done so well, even when the order is in the opposing side's advantage with the male hitting to the female. Oh, there's a great backhand by Jinbao Ma. See Lily giving the signal what type of ball, what type of spin that she'd like to have put on the ball so that she gets a return that she can deal with.
1, 2.
Teamwork is essential in doubles.
Remember, the Spinners have a 3-1 lead in game one.
Lily with a great deep push on the serve return. Look for a deep serve.
3-2 to the spinners, now 4-2 to the spinners. I beg your pardon, now 3-all.
See, Omataya almost always will play a forehand once they get into the rally. He has time to move around. That time, Lily played a very smart ball into the wide backhand. So that shot making, working against the spinners as Omataya goes long on the flip kill. And that's a nice opening by Diaz. If she can land her forehand consistently, it'll put a lot of pressure on the blasters to stay away from Omataya's forehand. And a nice loop from the backcourt by the spinners to even this up. A little bit of a misdirection there. Again, Fabi Diaz, she plays with short pimples on her backhand, which can really take the spin off the ball. It's effective when she's hitting. It's not a clean topspin. But on the serve return, will often take all the spin off, which can pose some issues for the return.
Can you explain to our viewers, when you say the short pimples versus the long pimples, like what's the difference in length that we're talking about? It's because these are very small, minute
right,
differences.
So from the pimples component, everyone else is using smooth. So that's where the top of the rubber is completely smooth. With the pimple, you can either have short or long. And with the long, and there's a wonderful forehand by Omataya. With the long pimples, it's more of a defensive. You just want to get it back and really change the spin. Fabi Diaz has a shorter pimple, so it allows her to smash it or hit it quick, but she can still nullify the spin. And the difference is probably from 1.6 millimeters to 1.8 or 1.4. It's that small. But Diaz is using it from an offensive standpoint.
The difference is like 0.2 of a millimeter.
Exactly. And that changes the amount of rotation the ball's going to have. And Omataya just great, strong backhand. And this is where the teamwork of the spinners is showing. Nice comeback here. Really working together well. And Lily, strong opening. Again, Lily with the smart move into the backhand side. She had a pop-up. Normally you'd take that cross court. She chose the straight ball, really paralyzing Omataya.
Neither side's been able to create much separation so far here in this doubles. 9-all, Ma serving.
Oh, and Diaz goes for the big side spin cut. That ball was a lot higher. Diaz was saying that ball was a higher serve than she thought it was going to be, and it just kind of caught her.
Game 2 goes to the Blasters, just like Game 1, as Jinbao Ma and Lily Zhang close strong. Heading into the doubles, the spinners had a 5-1 lead of the team tally, but that 4-point gap has been cut in half. One more game in doubles on the other side of the break. So the scores have been tight, but the results have been identical. The Bay Area Blasters with a couple of narrow victories in the first two games here in the doubles. If you are the Seattle Spinners here, Sean O'Neill, what's the key to unlock a point here to maintain some distance between yourself and the Blasters and the overall team tally?
Yeah, I would say don't get too nervous or don't try anything outside your norm. The first game went down to the golden point. I still feel that the Spinners have the slight advantage just with Omotaya hitting to Lily, but so far the difference in this match has been the placement of the shots of Lily Zhang. She has really handcuffed the Spinners in both games with just putting it exactly where they don't expect it.
Heavy hitting there.
Just love the power of Omotayo's forehand. Just pulls it out of nowhere. Great technique. And you could see that side spin chop block that Nikhil Kumar did so effectively in the opening match.
Of all these four players, if you could pick one of their forehands to have and one of their backhands to have, whose would you choose?
Easy call. Omotaya's forehand, Lily Zhang's backhand. While at the same time, if somebody was picking Fabi Diaz's change of pace, aggressive serves, and Jinbao Ma's just overall offense,
3-3.
you'd have the perfect robot or avatar to go out there and battle any other team. You don't get to this level without some superior strengths. And there's the Lily Zhang backhand.
3-4.
Great timing, off the bounce, but more importantly, finding the open court.
Has the backhand always been her greatest strength?
It really has. She's built her game around a world-class backhand. When her forehand's landing, she can compete against any of the top women in the world.
Lily Zhang won a bronze medal at the 2021 World Table Tennis Championships. She was playing doubles with a player from China. She was the first American to receive a medal at the World Championships since 1959.
Celebration of ping pong diplomacy. The U.S. and China put two mixed doubles teams together in Houston, and Lily Zhang came home with a medal for Team USA, and boy, did they have Houston rocking at the World Championships.
Were you there?
I unfortunately was not, but I was watching the live action on YouTube and cheering for the home team.
Lily has said one of her favorite things about the sport is being able to travel all around the world, meeting all sorts of different people and living her dream. I imagine, Sean, you feel pretty similarly about what table tennis has meant to you in your life?
Yeah, every one of these players has such a great opportunity to make friends, to play in leagues. Again, the beauty of Major League Table Tennis for American players, you can live at home and the world is coming to us, so you don't have to live out of your suitcase. You can sleep in your bed. So these players have great experiences, whether at the Olympics or World Championships or coming to Portland. And big points right here. Spinners would love to not be swept.
Tricky spin from Lily Zhang there. I'm not sure if that was intentional or a bit of a mishit, but it worked out.
Yeah, Fabi made a very short ball, and all Lily could do was spin it up and just loaded it as much as possible. And there's a break for Omotaya. He had a couple go against him in his singles match with Sonora Silva. And there's
8-all.
the power of thank you very much. That is the Omotayo forehand. Spinners are going for it. They're not playing safe.
No. Barring a drastic change here, just next couple of points.
Wow.
This is 9-all. I haven't seen anything to tell me that this game's going to be different than the first two, but
I mean,
we only need 1 or 2 shots here from Omotayo and Diaz to change the story. There's perhaps one game point for the Spinners.
What a great combo by the Spinners. Short, tight serve. Diaz with a quality forehand. Very tough to track where she's going with that.
And the Spinners do salvage a point in the doubles. And it's a 6-3 lead overall as Omotayo and Diaz get the 11-9 win. It's a rare instance in the West Coast where a team down 0-2 avoids the sweep.
Two matches left before the Golden Game, and I've been looking forward to a lot of matches. Pretty much every match. There's not a match today that will not be interesting to watch. But this next one is the one that caught my eye as soon as I looked at the piece of paper. So grab your snacks, get your shirts, use the restroom if you need to, and come on back as quickly as possible because you will not want to miss a single point in the next match to come. If you've been watching table tennis on the internet before, there's a guy out here who's got some black hair and he's got some blonde hair. He's got some Swedish, he's got some Vietnamese, and he's got a whole lot of swag.
All right, we are back here in Portland, Oregon, the Expo Center, the site of MLTT West Division action this weekend. We're joined by the Bay Area Blasters' Lily Zhang. Lily, 2 out of 3 in doubles. How'd you feel about how you and Jim Bao played out there?
I think we honestly played really well. This was our first time ever playing doubles together, so I think for our debut match, I was really satisfied and proud of us, especially since we're down. I think we fought really well.
Especially with all 3 games being super close. What was the key to finishing strong in those first 2 games that you guys won?
Yeah, every game was really close. They're really good players, and they pair really well together. So I think for us, it was just important to take it ball by ball, point by point, and just focus on the present.
So Lily, with Major League Table Tennis, obviously there's some changes to the rules. What is your feeling about the Golden Game?
The Golden Game is, I mean, because I'm playing it, it's pretty scary, but I think it's really exciting to watch as a spectator. But I think it's a really cool change to the sport. I think it brings a lot of excitement and passion, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Lily, we'll let you go and get ready for that Golden Game. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we shift back to singles now. A European showdown right here with Alexis Duan representing the Blasters from France and Johan Hagberg from Sweden playing for the Spinners. This is an interesting showdown here. Jay Hagberg was arguably Seattle's top performer in the Rock Hill weekend. He went 7-5 in singles, Sean, and also played pretty well in doubles. Played 3 different doubles matches, going 5-4, working alongside Fabi Diaz. Alexis Duan, on the other hand, also was decently strong in Rock Hill. He's won more than he's lost this year, so this is a really intriguing matchup overall.
Well, the styles are very different. With Johan Hagberg, lefty, lots of power, going for shots, going for winners from all positions on the court. Not going to beat anyone with pure consistency. And of course, in Pleasanton, we saw him have a major injury and still fight through.
Right.
And just show some great grit and determination. And I'm hoping that with that little bit of a winter break that he's had a chance to deal with that leg injury.
Well, no player in the league covets the post-game interview like Jay Hagberg, so we'll see if he's able to earn a conversation with the great Sean O'Neill.
1-0.
He's got to take 2 out of 3 to do it. He's off to a good start taking the opening point.
You can just see he just goes for it. There's no soft opening, move the ball around. If it's on his racket, he's going for a winner. Nice little side spin cut on the serve return. Almost serving it right back to the server.
Skidding it past him. Two on the board.
And yeah, a number of players would have tried to block that ball.
3-1.
Not Hagberg. He's going to re-rip it. Makes it very easy what type of tactics to use. When the ball comes over, just take a full swing.
3-1.
Shades of
3-2.
Enzo Angles in terms of the ball toss and the lefty serve from Hagberg.
Enzo plays a little safer.
Oh, from a knee, Hagberg able to win the point. The return sailed wide.
I mean, again, why not go for it?
So I was comparing him to Angles, but that was more like Benjamin Brossier shooting it from one knee. Which member of the Chicago Wind will he impersonate this next point?
Was a lefty, I'd go Provost.
You're probably right.
5-3.
Five-3 lead here for Hagberg. Going back to the doubles for a second, that felt like a really huge point for Seattle, for Omatayo and Diaz to sneak away with that third game to avoid the sweep. Big difference. Would have been 5-4 the other way. Now 6-3.
Every match moving forward, as long as it's not a sweep.
Seattle can just get 1 point here and 1 point in the next match. They'll have a lead going into the Golden Game, and we know how important that is.
Look at that serve return by Hagberg.
4-7.
Stepped around the forehand. Nice backhand side spin return. Lexi doing a nice job of just keeping the ball, keeping pressure.
8.
But now down 8-4. That's scary when Hagberg has a 4-point lead, because now he can really go for broke, if that's even possible. Oh, very aggressive high toss serve.
9-4.
And the Bay Area Blasters have to be concerned if this gets away from them. They could be starting at the maximum deficit. That was a smart shot by Alexi.
5-9.
Just spun it up but kept it low.
Well, Sean, one thing we haven't mentioned so far today, I mean, the Blasters are in first place, but it's not because they've dominated Seattle. Their 3 previous matchups, the Blasters have just 1 win in the 3 games against the Spinners. Seattle winning 15-6 back in September. Seattle won 14-7 in the Pleasanton matchup
9-7
in November. And that was the infamous showdown where MLTT employee Tapadei was tabbed into duty after an injury earlier in the weekend, and one of the exciting, fun wrinkles of the first half of the season.
9-8.
And all of a sudden here, Dewan hanging around, 9-8. Looked like Hagberg had a pretty healthy cushion, but it's a big point right here. Did it catch?
No, it went long. And the last 2 forehand loops by Hagberg have just missed their target. He was in position to put some power on the ball, but just caught the top of the net.
Just missed the back edge, 9-all.
Oh, great drop shot.
9-10.
Drop shot neutralized the serve, and then Hagberg had all the time in the world to get his forehand into play to set up game point. Oh, was that a deep push for the winner?
Hogberg takes the game.
Hogberg puts the Spinners up 7-3 now. A lot of close games here in this first team match of the weekend, but the majority of them have gone Seattle's way. An 11-9 win in game one for Johan Hogberg, the Swede for Seattle, 29 years old from Stockholm. And Alexei Duan fell behind, kept it close, but could not get over the hump late in game one.
Great service return at the end by the Swedish spinner. Oh, another well-placed punch.
Zero one.
Evan, look for Alexei to be much more
1-1.
offensive-minded. He cannot afford to just keep the ball on the table and let Johan just take full swings.
Duan attacked the return, but Jay was ready for it.
That's the problem, is that Johan, it's kind of one gear, fifth gear, goes for it. Ball caught the net.
2-2.
And again, that was just a big swing. Requires perfect timing if you're not going to move your feet. Great point by both players.
3-3.
In your mind, did you have one of these two as a clear favorite heading into this match?
Because their styles are so different. Duan playing very
3-4.
control-minded, very consistent, and then Hagberg is just, and sometimes it seems almost like a lottery pick as he goes for winners. Then you see this shot right there,
5-3.
where it's like, what were you doing? Well, Duan made a perfect return, so there was nothing to work with. But yeah, normally when that happens, you see a lot of 2-1 type of games because one player will get on a run. It's just so difficult. At these type of points, Duan is going to have the huge advantage until Hagberg takes a crazy shot and goes for it, which this ball could land. Missed by the narrowest of margins. So that ball touched, but it was the side.
6-3.
And Hagberg knew because it was curving in, but it went straight down.
That 6-3.
Very smart move by Hagberg. Control the serve.
4-6.
force Alexei to make a controlled opening and then tee off on that one. Again, good play by
4-7.
Duan, just get that first attack going.
Sean, we've talked about how the East largely dominated the West in the interdivisional
Nine,
weekend.
4-7.
But Jay Hogberg, playing singles for Seattle, had a 2-1 win in singles over Florida's Ojo Onaolapo. Had a 2-1 win in singles over Princeton's Jinshin Wang. And had a 2-1 win in singles over Carolina's Jeremy Hazin.
Yeah, no, I remember talking to him at the hotel afterwards, and he kept saying, you know, I'm not that bad of a player. I had pretty good results this week.
But speak for themselves.
And it is so tough.
But it's a team game.
9-4.
But when you're playing Hagberg, if he's leading, it is so scary because he's just going to go for winners and tee off on whatever you give him. However, if you can get a lead, sometimes you can use that against him by forcing him to take too big of a shot. And that time, Alexei Duan just stayed with the program and kept the pressure going, and now he's going to likely even up this match with a nice backhand kill.
Hagberg just teed that up on a platter, and Duan smashed it immediately. That was a let's get to game 3 serve from Jay Hagberg. So game 3 we shall go. One apiece here in this third singles match. See what happens here in game 3 of the rubber game coming up. Third singles match between Alexei Duan and Jay Hagberg, tied 1 game apiece as we head to the rubber game. Reminder that the next MLTT event 2 weeks from now in Winter Haven, Florida, the East Division reconvenes. And then a month from now up in the Seattle area, Everett, Washington. East to New Jersey in March, and then the West will battle in Wichita in early April.
1-0.
I hear rumors that the championship weekend date and location is almost set in stone. Not ready to share the details yet. I don't think it's 100% official, but look out for news coming down the pike on that.
Sign up for the newsletter.
Yes.
Be the first to know.
I legitimately enjoy when the newsletter pops into my inbox once a week or whenever, how often it is.
Definitely some great articles, as well as super top 10 points of the week.
That's always fun.
And tons of behind-the-scene reels on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube.
2-3.
Did you see the video where MLTT Commissioner Flint Lane was scouting some of the local Portland talent that might be interested in the upcoming 2024 MLTT draft?
And for me, that was my favorite video of the media coverage this week that we've had here in Portland. And Alexei Duan has continued just to be a persistent attacker. Hagberg hasn't had any of his big shots land in the last 6 to 8 minutes after taking the initial first game.
3,
could
5.
break it open if Hagberg could turn the tide and get a 2-1 victory here, making it 8-4. Oh, that's a nice step around.
4,
Hagberg really juicing up the serve, making it tough to keep short, and just inside out cross court. And that time, Duan trying to force a backhand.
Five hole.
6, 5.
Alexei really just taking his time, not taking any risks. That time Hagberg went for the big shot.
5, 7.
That's not the high percentage one as compared to when he's playing with his forehand.
Five, 8.
Point of the match right here. Hagberg has to get something going.
Duan helps him out.
8, 6.
But it's the right thing for Duan to do. He has to be offensive. He just puts it on the table. Hagberg's going to go for the winner, so not a bad shot selection. Just has to make it land. That time, heavy, heavy spin, getting
9, 6.
Maggie Tian and Lily Zhang to stand up.
Duan's done a nice job mixing his spins, mixing his angles to keep his opponent off balance.
Oh, and he almost got that edge back.
7,
Hagberg will
9.
have the serve. Doing a nice job on the serve, especially out to the forehand side. And another edge.
7, 10.
Now
And
Bay
points.
Area looking much better.
Hagberg's cross-court forehand inside-out winner to stay alive. Just leaving Sean laughing.
Yeah. What do you do when that comes over the net? Surprised he didn't go around the net on that one.
Miss hit by Duan.
10,
He had the
9.
third ball attack on his paddle, and he's going to call the timeout. Take a breath before this huge point. He's got one more chance on his serve to close it out. Otherwise, it'll go back to Hagberg's serve.
No, he will do it. How about no spin or either backhand long under spin?
If I make this half long, no spin. If you cut one but will not be that hard, spin. Spin with spin, I'm ready. And after I spin and play.
Videos from like the last 20 years. Wang Li-Qin, anybody seen that? Inside out forehand. He's down near the ground when he played it.
No hurry, no hurry.
And now it's a 1-point game. If Jay Hagberg wins one more
Very good.
point, it comes down to a golden point. Remember, right now there's not too much between these two teams.
Everything good. Slow down. That's
3
fine.
points in between them, but someone could get to 11 before you win the game, which can be a little bit demoralizing.
There are shades of a mother and a child there. Have a snack, son. No, I don't want a snack. No, have a snack.
Another big point, so at 10-9. Here we go.
See if the extra bite of potassium pays off.
10, 9.
He's got the serve. So the question is, will he go with what he thought would work or the coach's suggestion?
10-all.
And Hagberg has a chance to be a hero right now. He's got the serve, and I can tell you, he's not going to play it safe. He's already ready to serve.
Our third golden point of the day to determine the result of this match. And it's a winner for Hagberg and Seattle.
Spinners.
Coming from behind, Jay Hagberg gets 2 points for the Spinners. How did he pull this one out? I'm not sure, but we'll ask him in a minute.
That's crazy. Straight out of the hot dog eating and into the standing ovation. I love it. So we've got
All right, we head into the fourth singles match. Seattle is guaranteed a lead heading into the Golden Game, thanks to Johan Hagberg taking 2 out of 3. Coming from behind in game 3, Jay, congratulations. How do you pull that one off?
I don't, actually, I just, when I was down 10-7, I felt like, okay, it's no pressure because so many match points behind. So I just figured, okay, I gotta just try to make sure make good receives because I was hesitating too much prior to the game. So that was it. And then threw him off at 10-9, took a timeout, figured he was nervous, made a good receive. And then, yeah, so, yeah, that was pretty much it. Not the best explanation, but I'm full of endorphins right now, so that's why. So, yeah.
So you pulled off a couple of shots. The one that we just saw on the monitor, the inside-out
Oh, you saw that one? Dude, I was scared you missed that one. But
Oh, no. I was speechless afterwards because it was such an insane shot.
Oh, yeah.
But the smart shots at the very end of the game, you must have had confidence. How is your leg feeling? Last time?
Oh, my leg now is amazing because I have my physiotherapist in Sweden. Shout out to Regina. I'm going to tag in this later. So she was working on my leg and now it's all good. So I owe her some Lebanese food when I get back home. So yeah, so she took care of it. Yeah.
What's your favorite shot when you're playing there on the table?
I guess partially it's inside out, but sometimes around the net because I'm really big on attention and Instagram likes. So I'm pretty happy with that one at 10-7. I'm gonna repost like 1 billion times tonight, I think, before I go to sleep. So yeah.
It was that final point, though, that earned you the conversation with Sean.
Yeah, yeah.
What was going through your mind before that 10-all final golden point?
Yeah, because I figured I promised a lot of people that they're going to see me in the post-game interviews. So if I wouldn't make it, I probably wouldn't have the balls to get home back to Sweden. So, yeah, I'm glad it worked out. But, yeah, the match isn't over. Jokes aside, I'm glad I could bring 2 points for the team. But the match is not done yet. The job is not done. So I'm just going to encourage my teammates, and hopefully we can take this home.
We'll see you in the Golden Game, Jay. Thanks for the time.
No, thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
He is not shy about a post-game chat. Jay Hagberg earns 2 points for the Seattle Spinners. I mean, Major League Table Tennis needs that kind of chutzpah.
He is just
style.
Awesome. Just love his story. He's right now, and here comes the runner. We've got Adi Serene.
Yeah, so look at this matchup here. Adi Serene, you know, he's got a couple of years to go before he can vote in this country. He's 15, 16 years old against the Arab Lion, El Sayed Lachine, who will turn 44 in just a couple of weeks. I mean, I said before, literally, Lachine could be Adi's dad. And yet, this is a fascinating matchup. You know, youth versus experience. And for sure, there's more pressure on Lachine.
2-0.
He needs to take 2 out of 3, otherwise the Spinners are going to have the maximum 5-point lead heading into the Golden Game.
I mean, Adi plays the ball so quickly off the bounce. Even though he's not so big, he has big shots. Lachine, solid forehand play, likes to step around his backhand. He's got an interesting paddle, octagonal shape.
0-4.
One of the newer technologies that we've seen in the sport over the last year.
He's the only player in the league that uses a paddle like that.
0-4.
You've practiced with that paddle, though, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit, they've got all different woods now. Before, they just had a carbon. It was very stiff and a lot of power, not so much touch. Now they've brought out a wide range of about 4 or 5 different woods. So you can really pick a type that matches your style. Truls Morgard from Sweden.
5-1.
Stiga racket. used it in Houston and really kind of set the tone, but I love watching Machine play. He's got so much personality, loves to get that forehand into play.
5-1 lead for the teen. Adi from Australia.
6-1.
Plays out of Lilliep Table Tennis Center in New Jersey when he's stateside. Look at that backhand. And then he touched his temple just to make sure everyone realized that was a smart play.
And realize we haven't seen Adi Serene in Major League Table Tennis since October.
Well, he's got a lot of responsibility as, again, I don't even get a chance to finish a word before he makes a winner. But taking on duties for the adult Australian team internationally.
Yeah.
And there's the forehand of Machine. Great inside out.
Been a brilliant performance so far for Adi Serene, who also became a U.S. Open champion in December. He won the U19 boys singles, the U17 boys singles, and the U15 boys singles divisions.
You might as well make it a trifecta. And he's had great success.
He was not eligible for U13 or U11. Sorry, folks.
2-11, game 2.
11-2, a demolition in game 1 for Adi Serene. And so far today, the Seattle Spinners are cooking. Serene's been waiting his turn. An emphatic game 1 win for Adi Serene. Well, through the first 4 matches in this team battle, 11 of the 12 games were decided by 5 points or fewer. The only exception was the middle game between Duan and Hagberg, but an 11-2 rout. Game 1 of this final singles match before the Golden Game. Adi Serene smashing El Sayed Lachine, with all due respect to the Texas Smash, who we'll see later tonight against the Portland Paddlers. That was a bombardment from the Aussie. And he picks up where he left off in game 2. El Sayed Lachine is on his heels right now, Sean.
Adi Serene is opening up everywhere on the table with that backhand. Taking it down the line on that last point, but most importantly, taking it off the bounce. And we can see the celebratory run after every great point by Adi. Just gets on his bike, travels around the entire court.
1-2.
Lachine needs to get something going here. It's not winning a battle of the speed.
Again. Just exasperated because he made 2 or 3 fantastic shots to stay in the point, sprawling around the table, and he finally gets a chance to take a big swing, and well, he missed the table by about 4 tables.
And Adi doing a nice job of keeping those serves short. Very difficult to attack them when they're so low, double bouncing. And great defense by Serene.
1-5.
able to block that ball on his forehand side, just keeping it in play, but more importantly, moving it around. As we see him back on his bike, covering the entire court.
Yeah, he gets his steps in. Sean, a reminder of why these points matter so much. The team leading going into the Golden Game through the first 4.5 months of MLTT history has won almost 3/4 of the time in the Golden Game. And for teams that enter the Golden Game with a 5-point lead, they've won 90% of their games. Teams with a 5-0 lead to start the Golden Game are 18-2.
6-3.
You do see the wrap on El Sayed Lacheen's right arm.
Yeah, and he was even wincing at the previous point. Not sure if it's tendinitis from overplaying.
4-6.
Paddlers train him too hard this week?
He went through the motions. Paddlers were in a training camp that Lacheen joined. The Texas Smash also were in town.
5-6.
Early sessions in at Paddle Palace Club. Lacheen making a surge right here. Oh, that's a beautiful combination there.
6.
Solid backhand opening, and then a quick step round to get Lacheen's strong forehand into play. So tough to track where he's going. Great balance. Nice hooking loop.
There's a roadmap for the Blasters here. I know it feels like the Spinners are in control of the team match and this individual match. I'll say Lacheen needs to connect on that shot, though, to find his way.
He made a nice opening that got him a ball to go for it, but Audie is keeping the ball so low, not much angle. Oh. Aggressive deep serve, and here comes the run. Get some
6.
John, let me ask you this. I mean, we talked to El Sayed Lacheen back in September when he played a female opponent, something he hadn't done very often. But in your career, I mean, the later stages of your career, did you ever face a young up-and-coming teenager, and what was that like?
Oh, that was not fun at all.
8.
And if you mention my name, there'll be a number of kids that I became their favorite win because they came back from whether it was like we played games.
6, 9.
I've got to take a breather after this run. But it's never fun playing the youngster who supposedly has nothing to lose as they go for big shots. And right now, Audie's serene, trying to keep the momentum. Look at that forehand.
Lacheen stays on the point. Oh my, but not good enough. And Serene with 4 in a row.
He's got to watch out for the ball boy when he goes on the run.
Sure does. Lacheen made a push, got back in this game, but Serene has once again imposed his will. Game point. El Sayed Lacheen with 1 more lesson to teach the youngster.
That one got Audie to still do the run. But that was one inside-out forehand that would make Johan Hagberg proud. Incredible angle. And Lacheen with the serve,
10.
with a chance to tie it up.
How about this?
The experience.
He lost both points on his serve last time. He needs to win both points on his serve here. Otherwise, the Spinners are going to clinch the 5-point lead at least heading into the Golden Game. It's all coming up Adi
11. Game
as
2.
Serene takes the opening 2 points over El Sayed Lachine. 11-2 in game 1, much tighter in game 2. But the young Aussie still prevails by 3. A 10-4 lead for the Spinners with one more game to play before we go to the Golden Game.
That's a great question, and since you called attention to it, you'll notice it, how frequently it happens. Everyone who's newer to professional table tennis is asking the exact same question and looking at me with incredible suspense right now to find out the answer. Oh, the suspense, it's killing me. The answer is inside the table. So you're allowed a towel break every 6 points. So they're drying their hands. They're removing the sweat from their palms so that they have perfect grip and control on the racket. And they try to wipe the table in a place where it's unlikely to bounce so that it doesn't get any moisture on the ball.
So the fans here in Portland are getting ready to watch their first Golden Game of the weekend, but first, Adi Serene will look to complete the sweep over El Sayed Lachine, who's more than a quarter century his senior, and yet the young teenage phenom has just been crushing it.
And Evan, if Adi can win this game,
1-0.
that guarantees this first match. Even if they lose the Golden Game, they would be going in 11-4 into the Golden Game, and it's worth 6 points. So a lot of pressure on Lachine's shoulders right now to keep his team's chances alive. Of course, every point matters, especially as these teams fight for a chance to get into the playoffs.
Well, a reminder, Sean, the Blasters entered this matchup with a 14-point lead over the Spinners, who are in second place on the overall standings. And by earning 4 points, the Blasters are guaranteed to remain in first place. However, if Serene can win this game and the Spinners can win the Golden Game, the difference between first place and second place
1 point.
will be 1 point heading into tomorrow.
And there's so much what ifs that we'll say tomorrow and then even on Sunday. Each of these teams will play 3 opponents this weekend.
Two previous matchups between Seattle and the Bay Area in which Adi Serene competed, he battled against Tao and Zhang. And in those encounters, the veteran for the Blasters, Tao, beat him 2 out of 3 in September and then swept him 3 straight in October. So a different opponent today with Tao and Zhang unavailable, and you know, the most important ability is availability.
Exactly.
Adi Serene is showing that when he's available, he can be an important factor. The last time we saw Adi in MLTT, he had a tough weekend, but he closed it with the longest lap of his life. Reminder, we're coming up the grand finale to the matches, the Golden Game, and Adi Serene at the end of the Golden Game back in October when Serene closed it out with a flurry.
Four, 5.
He's revving it up right now. Yeah. Lachine was looking at him like, what are you doing?
That was the ultimate golden point that I was referring to, where he won it against Collet. the battle between Seattle and Portland, October 29th.
Look at that backhand right down the line, off the bounce.
Six, 5.
That's the run.
I wonder if he'll keep running like that after every point as he gets older.
Not quite sure, but
for the record, he's got a long way to go before he gets older. Like 15 years from now, he'll still be getting older.
5, 7.
God willing, all of us will hopefully keep getting older, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah,
he's got a long time left to be young.
It's kind of like a nice little wind-up. Machine just not finding an answer.
Frustration is mounting considerably for the Egyptian. Look, he's obviously had a storied career in this sport, representing his country in the Olympics. Nothing Lachine can do
9,
here.
5.
Feels inevitable right now.
Audie's just playing amazing, controlling the table, getting on the offense, and just not giving an inch, sending the ball into the expensive seats. That's some nice power there by Lachine.
9, 6.
What we're gearing up for, though, Sean. Yes, Seattle's going to win this match, assuming Serene can close this out. But the Golden Game will decide whether Seattle will be within 1 point of the Blasters or whether the Blasters can keep a 13-point lead. I mean, there's literally a 12-point swing coming up here with this Golden Game, with standings ramifications galore. Certainly Texas and Portland will be watching closely as they get ready for their next match. But Adi Serene put on a show today. The youngster from Australia with a dominant performance of one of the greats in this sport for the past generation. 11-2, 11-8, and 11-6. Add it all up, 33-16 for the teenage phenom. Adi Serene puts Seattle up 11-4, and we've got the Golden Game coming up here in Portland.
Adi Serene has recently been top 40 in the world, and he has showed and proved why. You can say all you want about continental inflation, but this performance out here speaks loudly. So now we come to the Golden Game. You might be wondering, but wait, one team has 11 points. Yes, that's correct. But if the team that's trailing right now, Bay Area Blasters,
you're going to give me the countdown when they're almost done.
They're still in first place by a bit. They're only losing 11-10. They're going to start down.
So let's recap how we've gotten to the Golden Game. It began with Nikhil Kumar setting the tone for the Seattle Spinners. He won 3 straight games over at Jinbao Ma. Olajide Omatayo taking 2 out of 3 from Sonora Silva, and then in the doubles, Omatayo and Diaz salvaging a point after Ma and Zhang took the opening 2 games. Thrilling battle between Hagberg and Duan. Jay Hagberg trailing 10-7 in game 3, rallied back to win that golden point to take 2 out of 3. And then the Seattle Spinners taking an 11-4 overall lead, with Adi Serene giving Seattle its 2nd sweep of the day. We are set for the Golden Game to close out this first team match of the weekend. Here's the commish, Flint Lane.
Okay, we've got the Seattle Spinners are leading 11-4. You'll be starting with a 5-point advantage. Bay Area Blasters, you pick first player. Jinbao Ma is your number 1. Coach? Nikhil Kumar is your 1 and your 2. Johan Hagberg is your 2.
Alexi.
Alexi Duan is your 2 and your 3.
Lashi.
El Said Lachine is your 3. Coach?
Adi Serene.
Adi Serene is your 3 and your 4.
Olajide.
Olajide Omotayo is your 4, making Fabiola Diaz your 5. Your 4, coach? Got Sonora or Lily?
With okay, Lily.
Lily is your 4, making Sonora your 5. Okay, good luck, coaches. 6 points are at stake.
I was wondering,
This
Sean,
is fascinating.
if Maggie
You can see
Tian
Luba
would mix it
Sadowska
up
here.
a little bit, which you figure when you're down 11-4, you want to mix it up. The first 3 matchups are status quo, with Nikhil going against Jinbao Ma, Hagberg and Duan and Lachine and Serene we just saw, but we're going to see the cross-gender matchups, and look, if the Blasters are going to rally here, it's going to be up to Lily Zhang, you'd think, to do some damage against Omotayo, which is no easy task.
No,
but she's perhaps up to it, as well equipped as any female player in the league.
Yeah, the style matchup favors Omotayo so much because of his big forehand, but Lily trains against a lot of male players. I have a feeling that Jinbao Ma is going to do better. He's not going to get swept by Nikhil, who really stepped up his tactics and went more on the offense. So Jinbao, my guess, will expect a much more aggressive Nikhil Kumar. So either team that can pull off a golden sweep, I think that's going to be the determinant factor. Because even though it's 11-4, these teams are quite close.
For a guy like Nikhil Kumar, it's been a couple of hours since he was on the table.
So they will always be starting with serves.
USA's #1 player will start with the serve against Nikhil Kumar. 0-5. This is the Golden Game.
0-5.
Save still. Seals the attack. He's got 2 serves to come. 6-7-0.
Two straight for Kumar and a 7-0 lead for Seattle.
And just huge out of the blocks once again. Kumar going for the offense.
Top edge of the racket. Jinbao Ma takes the point.
Only twice in 58 Golden Games have we seen the team lose after being up 5-0. I should say only twice in 20 Golden Games where a team had a 5-0 lead have we seen a comeback. One of those 2 times was Seattle coughing up a 5-0 lead against the Portland Paddlers back in Santa Cruz in September.
You know, Evan, I really liked during the interview that Hagberg said that they weren't done, that they still had a lot more work ahead of them. Instead of just being happy to get the 2-1, you're going to hear him continue to play big for the Spinners.
What a reminder, even though the Spinners have the victory in the team match, this Golden Game will decide whether Seattle wakes up tomorrow 1 point out of first place or 12 points out of first place.
What a great serve by Hagberg. High toss tomahawk, just juiced it up. Again, twice, 2 direct points off of the high toss serve and extending the lead from the initial 5, now up to 8. And you've got to think, with Audie playing as well as he did in the last singles match, that's going to put additional pressure on Lachine.
More of the same with Audie Serene having all the answers.
I mean, Luba chose a team based on youth, and they are just on fire. Oh, beautiful backhand over the table by Lachine.
We need a name for that thing that happens when the team tally and the score of the Golden Game are the exact same. Not sure what that term's going to be.
11-4.
Could be blowout. See how
I'm not sure that would be universal. If it was 8-7, obviously, it'd be a different story. So Lachine does hold his own against Serene there.
This is the beauty of MLTT as well as Golden Games, where we will have a mixed singles match right now.
And look, there's a roadmap here. 3 straight points for Lachine. If Zhang can do something here, then they have Silva going against Diaz. It's a huge sequence here for Lily Zhang. And well, she played against Omatayo in the doubles, so she's got a sense for his game, but too good on that first point for the Nigerian. Off the net and too long. And Zhang wins a point on her serve. Now the ball shifts to the other side of the table. Great stuff from Lily Zhang. She apologizes for the net ball that hit the edge.
And she played it great forehand, but it was set up by these quick backhands. That's what Lily has to do, is get into a backhand-to-backhand exchange.
3 out of 4 for Lily Zhang after El Sayed Lachine takes 3 out of 4. And all of a sudden, the Blasters are right back in it here, especially if Silva can keep it going.
And in this mixed singles match, watch Fabi Diaz's backhand. Very challenging. And Silva able to get the spin up, keep the offense on his side. Diaz wants to finish the points quickly.
Timeout Seattle. Luba Sadovska wants to pause everything because the Blasters have won 8 of the last 9 points since the score was 11-2.
Just don't try too hard, okay? Because he's really good with rallies. Just don't try too hard.
He's waiting for you to make the mistakes.
Yeah.
Give you hard to form, relax, lay on the table. Let him, if you want to win a point, let him go.
Yeah.
Let him try something.
And don't go into backhand rallies with him. He's really good with that. Go maybe for the elbow, for the middle, okay?
One question, if you serve and he make backhand, can you make like this also?
No.
If not, just play backhand. Trust.
No, you trust your backhand.
Trust me. He's very nervous. You don't want to play this angle, he doesn't. Trust me. Okay? This is yours now. All right? One by one.
No pressure. Hey, no pressure, okay?
Hey, 1 point at a time. 1 point at a time. Your serve.
Does hearing no pressure from your coach help you?
I'm going to speak to Luba afterwards. You always want to keep the negatives out. You say go for it, go for it. But every player is different.
10.
And right now, these 2 points are critical.
3 straight for Silva.
He's being patient out there. He's not forcing anything. Diaz has to get some power behind the ball. And she gets it with the deep serve.
Diaz able to salvage that point. Brings Kumar back to the table with a 2-point lead instead of a tie game. 13-11. Here's where you ask, does momentum exist? I mean, it's still 9 of the last 11 points for the Blasters. But Nikhil Kumar has had Jinbao Ma's number today. Kumar took 2 out of 3 earlier in the Golden Game. But he missed it that time, and Ma has the Blasters back within 1.
Nikhil played a great inside-out backhand block, set up the forehand, and missed it by such a little amount. great serve return by Nikhil, but just going for a wide and very aggressive loop off the bounce, almost playing outside of his comfort zone. But got a big point off his serve directly to guarantee either a 2-point or an even score after this point. Net serve. Nikhil really increasing the spin on his serve.
Hagberg and Duan back to the table after this point. And it will be tied 14-all here in the Golden Game between the Blasters and the Spinners. Sean, if we do get to the ultimate golden point, it would be the players in the 5 spot. Silva and Diaz. That would.
Diaz has won against Amy Wong. One of those golden points in the Golden Game. Oh, Duan with a big backhand. That could have been worth 6 points for his team. What a powerful play.
Golden Game.
Oh, Hagberg taking it down the line instead of going inside out.
That's a gigantic, gutsy shot for Hagberg.
No going on his knee necessary.
But Duan has put the Blasters up 2. And now the Spinners are really counting on Adi Serene to get them back in it. This has been a crazy turnaround.
Machine did such a great job in the Golden Game in their first meeting. Can Adi?
Machine took 3 out of 4 after losing the first point in the Golden Game. This is after Adi was the better player in the.
And you can just see the experience in the fight on Machine's face right now. He doesn't care what happened in singles. He's been golden so far against Adi Serene. So they've split the first 2.
16-18.
Serene with the serve, hoping to tie it up.
One thing we've never seen in MLTT is a team win the match but lose the Golden Game. But we are on the verge of history, perhaps.
And Adi had the easy ball, and you can just see, not happy.
Adi's got to have it. Back within 2.
So
Matayo versus Jong right here.
Both teams, if there's a sweep or 3, can finish the match right now.
Really just needs 2.
Exactly.
Matayo makes it 19-18.
He would love to have the serve at a 19-all. They're calling another timeout.
Timeout.
Now this is interesting. I didn't talk to you about the difference between the men's game and the women's game. The men's game tends to be more spin-oriented, a little bit more behind the table. The women's game tends to be more of a speed game, control, reaction time, quick recovery, backhand oriented. Lily Jong, as you've seen, stands lower and wider.
I got to be honest, Sean, I did not see this suspense coming at 10-2, 11-2 here in the Golden Game. It's been a remarkable change of momentum for the Blasters, but now Omatayo trying to swing it back. If Seattle can win, they'll be back within 1 point in the overall team standings. If the Blasters can get this Golden Game win, it'll be like a draw. They will have entered with a 13-point lead. They'll be, or with a 14-point lead, they'll be up 13 when they wake up tomorrow morning. Jong serving to Omatayo one more time. And Olajide Omatayo has given Seattle renewed hope here. And Seattle is back on top with a match point in 2019. Can Olajide complete the golden sweep? Or can Lily create the ultimate golden point? It's over. It catches Olajide, sweeps 4 straight over Lily Jong, and Seattle survives 21-19. And we got a race in the West Division. Just 1 point separates Seattle and the Bay Area. What a way to start this weekend here in Portland. Wow.
Dangerously close to the #1 spot. Seattle Spinners have started their weekend strong, and you, as a spectator, have started your weekend strong as well. What a
The Spinners, Sean, avoid the ignominious history because at this point, the only 2 5-0 comebacks had been when the score going into the Golden Game was 10-5. So never before had a team clinched the team match but lost the Golden Game, and the Spinners narrowly avoid being the first team with that not so distinguished title. Seattle wins the Golden Game, coming from behind to do it. Luba Sadovska, how's the heart right now?
I don't know. My watch actually is broken now. I don't know if I broke it or it's the coincidence, but it's not working.
So take us through your emotions in that Golden Game. I got to imagine up 11-2, you were feeling pretty confident that you guys were just going to cruise, and then all of a sudden you're down 19-17,
Yeah.
and Lily Jong, who had played so well against Olajide earlier, was at the table. How did your team pull that off? How did Olajide do it?
Well, if you can see that it's changing. It's the Major League Table Tennis pressure is real. They all feel it. They take turns at the pressure. I was just hoping that we were winning the whole match, so I was really positive, thinking that we're going to bring it back and win.
So going into the picks for the Golden Game, that is so strategic. What were you thinking, that you just wanted to keep the same matchups because you're going into it with a guaranteed win? Or were you thinking that they were going to have to do some type of change to get back into the match?
No, my plan was to keep the same matchups because it was working in a game situation. But then I can't say I lost it at the ending because it was the other team's turn. And then I have to be risky, and it was actually the other team's pick before we did the last two. It was going well for the first 3.
Luba, we didn't get to talk to Adi after his sweep of El Sayed Lachine, but man, that was a wildly impressive performance against one of the great veterans in this sport. What can you say about how Adi delivered for you today?
Oh yeah, I can just say it was a match of the youth versus experience, and Adi just delivered, and he's on top of his game. He's very talented, so I think his time is just coming. This is the time for him.
Well, we know you drafted a lot of youth, and with this win, you'll wake up tomorrow morning 1 point out of first place. This victory today brings you to the brink of the top of the standings. What will be the message to your team heading into the rest of this weekend?
I don't want to keep them really because, again, Major League puts enough pressure on them. So we go into each match with respect, and respect for the game, respect for the opponents, and we just fight, and we'll just hope for the best or fight for the best.
Congratulations, Luba. Take
Thank
a deep
you.
breath. We will see you tomorrow.
I'll fix my watch. Thank you.
We want to know the details of the heart rate because we know, Sean, the Golden Game does some crazy things to the beating heart.
You know, the one match that really stands out, or even a couple points, it was Johan Hagberg trailing 10-7, coming back to steal that match and just put so much pressure. And now we have the star of the moment.
G-Day, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Wild match. You guys were up 11-2 in the Golden Game, and then you come back to the table with your team down 19-17. What's going through your mind?
Actually, I think we lost our momentum a little bit, and when I came in to play my first 4 points with Lily, I only took 1 point, so I was like, okay, I need to do better the next time, and I was able to bring the 4 points at the most important time, and I'm really happy. I'm proud of my team.
Did you change anything tactically from the first foursome against Lily?
Yeah, this time around I played very slow, and sometimes I played very fast. And I changed my serve as well. This time around I made some backhand serve, and I could feel like she wasn't comfortable with it. So yeah.
No, it seemed like both in the doubles match where you guys fought to take that third game, same in your singles, and then also in this Golden Game, you guys had such resolve, not willing to give up, but saying, do whatever it took to win.
Yeah, of course, we have to fight for every point. In the league here, every point really matters a lot. And I was just telling Fabiola, let's fight for the last point. Every point counts. And here we are. We are the champion today.
Yes, you are. And the Spinners have had great success against the West Division. This was a huge Golden Game victory, and you guys are going to be right on the brink of perhaps overtaking the Blasters for first place as the weekend continues. So congrats on the win today. Tremendous way to finish it out. We will see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Olajide Omatayo. And look at these standings, Sean. We'll see Texas and Portland, but right now they are chasing the clear top two. And it's not clear who's going to be number one at the end of the weekend. Far from it.
Well, just in every single singles match out there, it really could have gone either way. Spinners came out so fast with Nikhil, and then at the end, Nikhil was battling just to help get his team over the hump, but what strong play by the Spinners.
That's
job well done.
6 straight match victories for the Spinners against West Division opponents. They were 0-4 against the East. It was a tough weekend. They lost all 4 Golden Games, but against these West Division teams, they're now 3-1 against the Blasters, and they've won 6 straight dating back to October against the West. So the Spinners have the momentum. They've got their squad, and certainly they've shown how they can get the job done in pressure-packed moments. It got a little too dicey, I think, for their liking. 21-11 win would have been a bit more comfortable, but 21-19 certainly gave the fans their money's worth. That was a lot of fun and a great way to start the weekend here in the Pacific Northwest. We got the Portland Paddlers and the Texas Smash coming up in about 32 minutes from now. We'll be back with you, but we'll take a quick break. Hope you get a little bit of a breather yourself and join us at the top of the hour for the Smash and the hometown Portland Paddlers. The Seattle Spinners still in second place, but the Bay Area Blasters have been put on notice that Seattle and the rest of the West is coming for them. Jay Hagberg with some big forehands, Adi Serene as well, and Olajide Omatayo closes it out. Seattle victorious in the Golden Game and in the match. For Sean O'Neill, I'm Evan Lepler saying so long for now as the Spinners win it here in Portland.